Welcome back to another Canon Quick Shot, a quick review of a non-comic book and superhero movie. Today I'm talking about Dunkirk, written and directed by the famous, the amazing Christopher Nolan. So this movie pretty much tells the real life story of a group of people in a war. Honestly, I don't know the war, but they're in the war. I believe it's French and British soldiers that are trapped on a beach in a German town, and they're being closed in by the German enemy, and there's not enough boats to come save them because they're pent in. So they send civilian boats, sailors and whatever, to come rescue all the soldiers. And that's pretty much it. I mean, this story doesn't follow one particular character. It's really just giving you the vantage point of the airstrikes, of the ground level, and of the boats on the sea. So a lot of different parts going in. So, I mean, coming into this movie, this is the brilliance of marketing, why marketing is necessary. I love Christopher Nolan. I wasn't necessarily going to see this movie. Much like Interstellar, it's just not a movie that I was really wanting to see. And so I was figuring I'll get to it eventually, with like I did in the Stellar Redbox. However, there was, I believe it was Wonder Woman that I went to go. It was either Wonder Woman or Spider-Man Homecoming, and they showed instead of a trailer, they showed about a 4-minute clip of the movie. Just let it roll, and in IMAX 3D and all that, you really felt the immersive experience of this movie when you realize. Because I was like, 70 millimeter, but why is this movie in IMAX? I'm like, does it really need to be that? And they kept talking about how much it was a visual spectacle. I'm like, but it's a war film. So watching that, I was like, wow, okay, now you really see the suffocating nature of this movie. You're put in this situation. It's not so much about the story. It's really about you just sitting in that situation and feeling how real it is through, the not special effects, but through the sound and the cameras that we have now. So that intrigued me, and that led me to go see it opening night. But yeah, so the movie really doesn't have too much of a story. It is just about being immersed and having an experience of the movie, experiencing like all the loud bullets ricocheting, the bombs going off, never knowing when something's going to happen, just really jump out your seat type of action. So it was interesting. It was a new thing, I think. Even though I don't think this was a masterpiece like some are calling it, it was a new type of movie. Because I still believe at its core, movies are for storytelling, telling a story through visual means. I don't know that this movie told so much a story rather than creating an experience for you to be boxed into, which is a little different. I would say the Transformers is kind of like that. The story just sucks though with Transformers, but they really are trying to sit you into an experience of just this spectacular spectacle. This does that, but in a different way. It was more suspense, it's more drama. It's not just action for action's sake. So anyway, I would suggest you go see it. This movie is made for IMAX. I know people say that a lot, but I do believe certain movies are made for the theater. This 1000% was created for IMAX experience. Find your nearest IMAX, because I'm telling you, this movie felt to me like holding your breath for almost 2 hours. And that's the suffocating nature of this movie. If you got anxiety, I would suggest you don't go see this. But if you want to be really, dive into that experience, you got to see it in IMAX. So I would say go as soon as you can, because IMAX theaters tend to, switch their movies out. But as far as a grade, I mean, I'm going to give it an 86% out of 100. Definitely a B+. It's not an A. Two things that happened in the movie that I didn't really like. There was a point in the movie where Nolan starts jumping back and forth through time. Not like, years, but like, moments. There's moments that happened already, then they jump back to moments in the forward. And they never really do a good job of explaining where you are in the movie. So it got real confusing at some points. And then the second thing is, with all the IMAX surround sound, maybe it might have been my theater, but a lot of time I couldn't understand the dialogue because they're already using accents it like the sound, the background sound, the score, the guns, whatever, you could not really hear what they were saying. And so I really feel like 90% of this movie, because there's not a lot of dialogue, you don't really know what people are saying. That felt weird for me because it's rare you go to a movie and you just don't hear dialogue. And so a lot of times I found myself like, I can't hear. And I'm in an IMAX theater, so it's not like you can turn it up any louder. So I'm like, man, I'm going to really have to wait to watch this at home with subtitles because I can't hear what they're saying. So even though it's two nitpicks, it's two kind of, cinematically big things when you don't know where the movie's taking place and you can't hear what the people are saying. So although it's a new achievement in visuals, it reminds me of The Revenant, where unlike Transformers, the visuals are crazy, but they're natural. They're not artificial. And so it does some creative, amazing things, but as a movie, there's some parts that's really lacking. So anyway, have you seen Dunkirk? Let me know what you thought in the comments. If you want to go see Dunkirk, let me know what you're excited about. Are you going to go see it? Why you might not go see it? Like, thumbs up, subscribe, and if you heard it here, it's official canon.